and we talk about how Love is Blind is literally the manifestation of why dating sucks for Gen Z in 2022. Each cast member on this show represents another reason why dating sucks right now. So let's get started. So first we have Bartise. I think Bartise is the perfect example of how driven by aesthetics Gen Z is right now, especially to the detriment of our own relationships. He's so concerned about how his partner looks that he's ignoring the importance of everything else. When they were in the pods, he was head over heels for Nancy. He was talking about, oh, she makes me feel like home. She listens to me. Meanwhile, there's a scene where he opens up to Raven in the pods, and instead of listening, she's over there doing a whole workout. All that went out the window when he saw how hot Raven is. And I find this really interesting. Every woman on the show is gorgeous. Everyone on the show is beautiful. There's nobody that I would say is unattractive. So I don't think that Nancy is like less attractive than Raven or vice versa. But they do have different types of beauty. Nancy is girl next door. Meanwhile, Raven looks like the typical IG model, like influencer. Bartise was looking at her and he was calculating in his head, like, I look this way, she looks this way, we would look good together. He was really seeing this as like an opportunity to become one of these like relationship goals type of couples. It is a legit way to make money. However, this is Love is Blind. Like, it's not supposed to be about that. When we look back on season 1 with Lauren and Cameron, everyone loved them. Obviously, Lauren is gorgeous and Cameron was always like attractive in his own way. But what made us love them was their genuine connection, their genuine love for each other, how they came together. It was so unexpected. I don't think either of them expected to fall in love, which made it so trippy and so beautiful. They made us believe in love because we saw ourselves in them. And they gave us hope that our love is out there too. And so I think Bartise, he doesn't realize looks don't matter as much as he thinks it does. But I mean, if being one half of an influencer couple is his goal, his mistake is talking about this shit out loud. You need to move in silence when it comes to that. And then with Nancy, she's very beautiful, obviously very accomplished. She has like 5 rental properties that she's paying for in cash. But it seems like her toxic trait is that she ignores red flags, because I know she knows what we know. Like, it's not like Bartise is sitting there saying one thing to her face and a different thing to the camera. No, he's saying this shit to her face and he's saying it to the camera. So I know she knows what we know. I know she sees what she sees. I don't know why she's like it's not clicking. He's not here for the right reasons, girl. My theory is that she's very loyal and maybe she's like the type of person who doesn't like to admit when she's made a mistake. Or maybe she just likes toxic shit. I don't know, because she was also attracted to Andrew, who was also like...
I never thought I could care for someone that would bring me to tears.
But anyway, Raven, what's going on with her is super interesting. With the rise of being able to monetize your attractiveness on social media, some people have adopted the belief that aesthetics are all they have to offer. Their gift to the world is their face and their body. And although Raven verbally says that that's not what she believes, she behaves in a way that implies she believes that. She behaves like she thinks that all she needs to give in a relationship is her presence. It doesn't seem like she compromises. She's not very warm. She's kind of self-centered. I'm gonna keep bringing this example up, but doing a workout while somebody's opening up to you is the most self-centered thing. But even beyond that, when we get outside of the pods, and when she's in this relationship with SK, she's not willing to compromise for him either. Having a problem with him going to school, a good grad school, on a full ride, even though that would better their future together, like demanding he pay half the rent in an apartment he would never live in, on a full-time grad school student salary. I've noticed a lot of us in this generation are not willing to invest or be an equal partner in relationships. A lot of people want to win in a relationship by doing the least and reaping the most rewards off of the other person. A lot of people spend a lot of time focusing on the things to make them more attractive on the outside that the internal stuff gets neglected. How many people, when they go through a breakup, they think the answer is to work on an external glow up rather than working on the stuff that will make us a better partner, like improving your communication, healing generational trauma, working on abandonment issues and insecurities, all these things that like block us from being present and fully there to be a good partner in a relationship. What keeps a relationship going are those soft skills on the inside. Communication, it's compromise, it's being flexible, it's being kind, it's being generous, being a good listener. Those are the things that make relationships last. A lot of people are getting with each other because they like how the other person makes them look. They're like, look at this beautiful woman I bagged. I must be a high value man because look at this woman I have on my arm. Look at this rich man I bagged. Look at what he bought me. I must be worth so much because he bought me this. Sometimes you have to ask ourselves, like, do you like me or do you just like how I look like on you or how I make you look? They claim they want these real lasting marriages and relationships, but you're still bringing in this mentality that probably kept you single in the first place. The things that make a committed marriage work is different than what makes dating work. Raven has invested heavily in these things that make you an attractive person to date. She obviously is very fit, works out, does Pilates, obviously invests a lot in her looks. However, I don't think you can take those things and think that's going to translate into like the kind of marriage you say you want when you go on Love is Blind. She and a lot of us in Gen Z are going to have to develop these soft internal skills in order to be successful in our relationships and in our marriages in the future. Whew. Now, Matt and Colleen. I think Colleen is really interesting. I think Colleen is another side of the Raven coin, but in a different way. She also is used to leading with her aesthetics, but she uses it in a different way. She is what I call the ultimate safe girl. She's a very like conventionally attractive white girl. She looks like the girl next door. It's just like she's what you think when you think of like cute girl. She has very non-offensive looks that are palatable to a wide audience. So I think for her, she's safe. She looks like the type of girl that you could bring around to your parents. However, I think that could be a double-edged sword. So she appeals to a lot of people visually, but obviously like as human beings, we're all individuals. We all have our own value systems and way we see the world. And so she's afraid to like be vulnerable and show her true self and say what she truly believes because you can't appeal to everybody. She's afraid of turning people off by being her full self. So she'll hide behind her safe girl looks and surface level conversation. Eventually her relationships will fizzle out because she really refuses to get deep. If you never show your true self, like how are you gonna find the people who really vibe with you? Quality is more important than quantity. And I know rejection feels awful, but would you rather be surrounded by people who know you, get you, and love you for who you are, even if it's like less? Or would you rather be surrounded by a lot of people who don't really know you, but they're really there because you're safe? And I do think social media culture definitely makes us feel like quantity matters over quality. You can have 500 followers and you're thinking, why do I only have 500 followers? Not realizing that those 500 people are 500 individual human beings who fuck with you and follow you because they care about what you have to say and love you, right? You don't need to appeal to everyone, especially when it comes to like finding love. If you believe in monogamy, because not everyone does, you only need that one person. And therefore, rejection isn't that bad because it gets you closer to that person who's really there for you. Stop getting so focused on numbers. You just need the people who fuck with you to fuck with you. Especially when it comes to love, you just need that one person who gets you. And you're not going to get that by hiding who you are. And then Matt is so triggering. I think every people pleaser has had a relationship like this at some point. He takes advantage of Colleen's insecurities about her personality to stay in control of the relationship. Like every time she says or does something he doesn't like, he's threatening to leave her. And it puts her in the position of like begging and pleading for him not to leave. Of course, it's gonna like chip at your self-esteem to like constantly be begging someone to stay with you, you know? Matt is another example of why Gen Z dating is so hard, is because of all these fucking podcasts and pickup artist content that's all over the internet. There's so many YouTube channels out there. Their whole purpose is to teach men how to manipulate and control women using mind games. Everyone is trying to win in relationships instead of being in it genuinely. So many girls have a story of like being on social media or being on these dating sites and men trying to neg them or trying to like chip away their self-esteem so they accept more in relationships, or like they're easier to control, and it's just fucking sad. But yeah, like, tell me what you think. Do you have an easy time dating? Is it hard? Do you relate to anything that these people on the show are going through? Let me know. And thank you for watching.